Copeland Nowell, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, Shannon. Great to be here in the studio.
Yes. Welcome to the first student-run podcast at Sacred Heart. Like, how does that feel?
It feels amazing, like that I got to be the one to be on the first episode. I feel pretty honored right now.
Yeah, we wanted someone really special, and obviously, like, you're an amazing guy at this school. You do so much. Like, tell us what you do at Sacred Heart.
So right now we're in the middle of cross country season, and then we'll be getting ready to go in the mock trial in the fall, as well as track in the spring.
So with cross country, I'm obviously a co-captain with you. So what duties? I'm going to pretend like I don't know what cross country is at all. So what duties do you do as a co-captain of cross country?
Right. So I'll have practice, and I'll usually have my day to lead practice, and that's Thursday. So I'll go out, I'll coach the team, and they'll follow my instruction, and then try to help them out. Get them ready for the meets that we'll usually have on the weekends.
Are you,
And so every meet is 3 miles, and so a 5K.
are you tough on them?
I am. You know that.
I do. You're really hard, but you're a good coach, in my opinion. So, what is your personal record goal for this year?
So last year I got a 22 flat in the 5K. So I'm pretty ambitious. I'm thinking that I'm gonna get a good time this year. We've been working all summer long, and so I'm aiming for around a 20-minute 5K.
Yeah, we've been working since like what would you say, the end of May?
Right. I remember actually texting you and Jack and saying that this year, our senior year, needs to be our best year, and so we need to start working as soon as possible. Even with COVID-19 going on, we can still distance and work on ourselves before we can meet as a team.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm with you on that part. We really just want our senior year to be like really good and like have a lot of fun this year.
Exactly. And so everything's going to have like modifications. Nothing's normal this year, but the good thing is that we can at least have these things with a little bit of modification to them.
Yeah, make the best out of a bad situation.
Right.
So, like, what's the funniest story of a cross country year that you've ever had?
Oh, it's not me. That there's actually a few of our teammates one year. We went to Pascagoula, and so what the Pascagoula course is you run around a giant lake. So at the end of it, everyone's all hot and sweaty, and we're ready to go home. Well, before that, a couple teammates decided they were going to jump in the lake. But it wasn't a very good lake. It had some trash in it, but they went with it anyways, without coach's permission, of course. And so they jumped in the lake and they ran out. And then the funny thing was they were not let on the bus to go home. Coach was not happy about that. And so we all had a good laugh when they got left.
And they jumped in fully clothed, right?
Right. So all their clothes were soaked. They couldn't get on the bus until they had changed and were completely dry.
Do you remember who it was? Those two, or was it two people?
It was Riley Morris and Walker Miller. I'm sure they remember that moment. I think they had to do a bunch of push-ups at the next practice because of it.
I remember it very fondly, and it was hilarious in that moment.
Right, and that was when we had Coach Butler, so he didn't play around with that kind of stuff. If you did something like that, he got on you pretty hard.
Exactly. It made it 10 times better, though, for us who were
Oh,
watching.
it was hilarious to
Yeah.
watch.
So, what's the difference between cross country and track, in your opinion? Like, do you like one more than the other?
So I love cross country, right? I think it's a great sport, but track is it's fun. It's something special because with cross country, what you do is it's 3 miles at every meet, a 5K. And that's, you wake up early on a Saturday morning and you go run in the heat for 3 miles. Track is different though. It's kind of like an all-day thing, and you can do any event you want, from a field event where you're jumping or a running event where it's kind of a short distance, 1 mile, 400 meters, or even a relay, which is really fun. And so, in my opinion, I like track a lot more. I think that there's a lot more variety to it. You never really get tired of anything that you're doing, and you can do any event that you want, especially going to Sacred Heart.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now, what events do you do in track?
So when I first started track, I did the 2 mile, which for those that don't know, it's 8 laps around the track. That is the worst event you can do. It's tiring. It hurts the entire time. So I eventually moved away from that and started to do shorter distance, like the 1 mile. But I believe it was my sophomore year was when I really started to branch out into other events. Like I started to do high jump, which I really loved, and that's where you have a bar set up around 6 feet, and you have to clear that bar and then land on the mat. And what you do, it's called the Frosby flop. And so what that is, you have to just like run straight at the bar, and at the last second you jump up and turn around so that like your back is facing the bar, like you jump backwards and you land like you do kind of like a flip and land on the mat, and it's a real fun event to do.
Who taught you how to do that?
I believe it was Jessica Hyde.
Now, with COVID-19, obviously ending your season last year, your junior season, how is that affecting you going into your senior year?
So we actually didn't have track at all last season. We never started practice. It was completely canceled. And so the last time that I ran competitively was last November when we had cross country state. So going into this cross country season, we've almost had a whole year of break without any competitive running. And so that's where it became really important to start running early this season, back in May, and just bettering ourselves so that we could get ready for this, having that break from track.
Yeah, I can't wait to run with you this season. It's going to be exciting, I think.
I believe so. We always have fun at track
Always.
and cross country.
So with mock trial, how are your goals for this year's season?
The goal is always to win state and make it to nationals, and I think we do a pretty good job with that. We have an amazing coach. Shout out to Mr. Don.
Yes.
Always fun to work with him, and yeah, I think we're gonna be pretty good this year. It's the same thing as with track. There's modifications that have to be made, but I do believe we are gonna have it. You know, there's talk that it could be online. However it is, we're gonna work it out, and we're gonna achieve our goals.
I think we're going to have a strong team. I know we lost about 4 seniors last year, but I think we're going to be able to recover well this year.
I'd agree. I think, the juniors that are moving up and our seniors now, I think we're ready. I think we have around, 7 seniors?
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to have a good year.
We have a huge team. Just like in cross country, we were just talking about this yesterday, about how big our team has expanded, and how compared to like our 7th grade year, like we felt so little, but now like obviously we're seniors and we feel like the leaders of the team.
Yeah, I agree. It's weird. You always looked up to those seniors when you were little and see how big they were. And I wonder how the people that are on the team now look up to us and how they see us. Hopefully they see us in the way we saw, the seniors. But yeah, the team, it's definitely grown a lot. Back in May, it was really just me, you, and Jack. And now there's like 20 people on the team. It's great.
It's insane, but I'm so glad that we have so many people who can keep running this cross-country program after we leave.
Yeah, that's where Aaron Godet comes into play. He's been waiting for this moment to take over, and he'll get that chance,
He's like your little prodigy. Like, you guys have an interesting dynamic at practice, don't you guys?
Yeah, he likes to lead stretches and do kind of his own thing. He's learning how to coach, but I know that when we leave, he'll be ready to take over the team.
Now, back with mock trial, I know that you've been both an attorney and a witness throughout your 3 years. This is your 4th year doing it, right?
Correct. I started out as an attorney my first 2 years, and then I became a witness last year, and I'm pretty sure that I'll be a witness this year as well.
Which do you prefer?
I prefer the witness role, personally.
Why?
I think it kind of found me. I started out as an attorney, and that's what I wanted to do, and I enjoyed it, of course, but it's a lot of work, and it's always being a witness. It's just a different type of work. With being an attorney, you have to learn the law, whereas being a witness, you have to know your own statement and really how to act, and I think that I really enjoyed doing that last year.
Yeah, and you did a great job at it, in my opinion. I think you're a really great actor, and you're born to portray a character.
Well, I learned from you. I think it was actually you that told me to be a witness, and I watched you. So
You didn't learn from me, I can tell you that, but thank you for that. Now, what events do you do outside of school? What activities?
I'm a member of CYO, which is Catholic Youth Organization, and we meet on Sundays, and that's where we talk about the Bible and God, of course, but then we also kind of hang out, and we're a friend group. We do things outside where we'll go out and just enjoy each other.
So you would recommend like every student after school to partake in CYO?
Oh, absolutely. If you're, serious about your faith or if you want to learn more about it, I think that you should definitely consider CYO. It's a no judgment zone. We're all accepting of each other, and it's a really enjoyable experience.
Now, who's like the leader of CYO?
That is Kevin Laporte. It's actually Miss Tambrick's brother.
Oh, her brother?
Right.
Okay. So you guys call him Moses, right?
Yeah, that's kind of his nickname. He used to have really long hair, and it's gray now, and he used to have a beard. He's been kind of good about keeping it cut, but yeah, we call him Moses.
Do you guys ever go like on field trips or anything?
Occasionally, COVID's kind of changed that. We used to do that earlier in the year, like we used to go to Christian services and volunteer, help sorting out clothes and doing stuff like that, earning service hours, which is another great reason why I think students should join. If you're in need of service hours, CYO can definitely help you with that.
So last year, our junior year, you were co-vice president with Kitty Grace Berry, right?
Right. It was kind of a weird situation where we had, I think, like 2 or 3 elections, and we ended up tying both times. And so Miss Walls just kind of said, let them both be vice president. And so it was I think we accomplished a lot actually with prom and all that. We raised a lot of money. And even though we didn't have prom, we still put in the work for it. And I think that the money was used for a good purpose.
Yeah, I agree. I remember when Miss Walls told us that you guys tied both times, we were in shock, like we really couldn't believe it. I think you guys like made history tying twice and being the first co-presidents maybe in the entire school history.
Right. I've never heard of that happening, and it was hard to believe that that could happen. Like the first time we tied, we never thought we would do it again, and so I don't know how, but it happened.
So does that mean you're vice president again this year? Like that rolls over?
Well, we're not really sure. We haven't had elections this year, and we're not really sure if we are going to. But so kind of as it stands now, me and Kitty Grace and all the other officers, we are kind of leading the senior class right now until an election can be held.
So during this time of uncertainty, what would you say is the biggest difference between this year and last year?
Well, there's a lot of differences. I'm not really sure what the biggest one is, but we're having to wear masks every day at school. Some people are online. It's very different. We can't eat lunch together. It's really confusing. We've never had something like this happen before, and so we're all kind of figuring it out. But
I mean, at least we're all in it together. Like we're taking it one step at a time.
I 100% agree. Being with people and talking to them about these issues, that's how you get through it. And so when we went into quarantine last year, we didn't see anyone for a long time until really the first day of school this year. And so that's when we got together. I think that really helped, is seeing people that you're close to in school and going through the struggles with them. I think that's what really helps you out.
Now, speaking of quarantine, you went on a little 2-week quarantine these past 2 weeks, right?
I did. We had a little quarantine or corona scare there, but so I took 2 weeks off and I got tested. Was not a fun experience. Felt like my brain was being poked, but I came up negative, and so I'm here back at school, and I think I'm glad to be back.
You think?
I think so.
Well, I'm glad to have you back.
Thanks. That little break was pretty good. I enjoyed it, but I think it's better to be back. It's easier to learn in school than it is online, and so I think that's better to do in school.
So how was like your schedule different when you were at home than rather in school?
I would wake up a lot later since I didn't have to get up. I think that's kind of what everyone does when they're online. It's just they have more free time when you're doing online. You're not in school. And so it's really just what do you do with that free time? For me personally, I slept. I was very sleep deprived. And so that little break helped. It did.
And like I think the social interaction, like when you come back to school, like I was so excited to see you whenever you came back. So I think the social interaction really helps when you see your classmates and other students at school.
It is. I think it's really important to be with people, within reason this year. It's not like we can, high five each other in the hallways, or you can't even see someone smile, but it's good to at least talk to them when you can. Online, you can really only do that through social media, but at least you can see each other when you're in school.
Now, with this time of uncertainty, I know we have to be optimistic in like every way we can. So what's the thing that you're looking forward to most this year? As a senior.
As a senior, well, I want to say graduation, kind of, sort of. I don't want to say goodbye to the people that I've known for so long, but I am ready to branch off and kind of start my own thing.
Where are you looking to go after high school as of now?
I'm looking at a few different places right now. I've applied to the United States Air Force Academy as well as the United States Naval Academy, and so those are really long applications. I actually started that my junior year, and I'm still working towards that. But those are kind of my dream schools right now.
So it's like a year-long application process.
Correct. There's a lot of different qualifications that you have to go through. You know, I have to be medically qualified, and I'll have to take a fitness test that can prove I can make it in the academy.
So you come from a military background, like your family is a military family, right?
Right. I think every male in my family has gone to the military.
You really just want to follow in their footsteps, or this is your own path that you would like to take as well?
I think that definitely has something to do with it, is following them, but it's kind of a different path that I'm taking. All of my family, they enlisted into the military. The path that I'm taking would allow me to commission as an officer into the military. So it's a different job, kind of. I would have to receive a bachelor's degree before I can commission, and then the job I would be doing, I would actually be a leader more than an enlisted personnel.
So what would be your dream job?
I'm aiming for pilot. It's pretty ambitious, but I think I can do it.
That'd be so awesome.
Yeah, you know, have you ever seen the movie Top Gun?
I haven't. I haven't seen a lot of like war movies or military movies, but I've heard you talk about it before.
Right. It's so for those that don't know, you know, it's a movie about these fighter pilots, and it's a really good movie. And so growing up with that kind of influenced me a little bit. You know, you want to be those people. And so I'm looking forward to hopefully achieving that dream.
Okay, Copeland, you ready to answer some questions about you?
Let's do it.
Okay, Copeland, so what should they teach in school but don't?
Definitely how to do your taxes. I've never learned how to do that.
I think a lot of life skills like how to balance a checkbook and how to do taxes and investing in stocks, they really need to teach because I have no idea how to do like any of that stuff. What inscription do you want on your gravestone?
Oh,
I know.
it's kind of a dark one.
I know it's dark.
I don't know. Definitely a quote, but I don't know what quote it would be. Can't think of that right now.
Just put yellow for now.
Okay.
Yellow. I chose for you. Yellow.
Okay. We can do that.
Which movie or book do you think is ridiculously overrated?
Oh, like the Divergent series. Like I never read those. I'm pretty sure you did, and you might be giving me a weird look right now.
I love the movies. I didn't read the books, but I think maybe the Hunger Game books are overrated. I love the movies. Again, I did read the books for that series though, but I
can agree with
sound
that.
just like such a non-book reader, but I actually do love to read books.
Yeah.
What movie do you wish life was more like?
Interesting. So, like, let me hear your perspective right now. Let me think of one. What do you think?
Well, like I said in my last podcast, I guess High School Musical, the third one, like, because it's senior year and like we're graduating and just want it to be perfect. Like, we go through different adventures, but like in the end, we just graduate happily and that final curtain just closes.
Okay. That kind of made me think of like Sky High. You ever seen that movie with like
Love
the
that
superhero
movie.
kids? Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. You know,
If you had any superpower in the world, what would it be?
I think invisibility. I think that would be really cool. You know, you could. It's kind of weird, but you can like sneak around and go wherever you want.
Yeah, like not get caught doing like just anything.
Right. I'd use those powers for good. You know.
Who would win in a fight between Superman and Batman?
I think they made a movie about that, but I
They
never
did.
watched it. But I think Batman. You know, he's really rich. He can buy whatever he needs to beat Superman.
So even though you didn't see the movie, you feel as though Batman, who has no powers, can beat Superman?
I think money is a superpower. Like you can do a lot of stuff with however much money you have. If you have that much money, you can do anything.
Wow, you're pretty insightful.
Thank you.
Are you a cat or a dog person?
I'm a dog person. You know, I grew up with dogs. My parents didn't like cats, but when I started to go over to people's houses that had cats, I thought they were pretty cool. You know, I wouldn't have one when I grew up, but they're pretty cool. I like cats.
I like dogs and cats. I've only had one dog in my life, like right now. So
What kind of dog do you have?
it's a black golden doodle.
What's the name? Tell us about it.
Her name is Tilly. We just got her last year. I guess the whole school is gonna know now.
They should know. They deserve to know.
But yeah, I've only ever had a dog. But I'd be down to getting a cat, like when I'm in my 20s in an apartment. So you know those TV show Tom and Jerry?
I do.
Whose side were you on, Tom or Jerry's?
Definitely Jerry. I didn't know any kid that was on Tom's side. Jerry was definitely portrayed as the good character.
Exactly. Jerry was like the hero of the story.
Right.
Do you play video games?
I do. Not a lot this year. I've been pretty busy with schoolwork, but I have Xbox, and so I'll play some of that.
Well, Copeland, thank you so much for being on the show today. The first student-led podcast.
Yeah, man. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You're one of my best friends, so it's so exciting to have you here. I can't wait to spend senior year with you, man.
We're going to have a lot of fun.
Totally. Thank you.